It's Saturday, September 16th, 2017, and you're tuned in to another edition of the Missy Show, where your premier source for fun and informative pet topics. I'm your host, Jay, and today we're presenting 10 simple steps to be better prepared for a natural disaster, concerning your pet, of course. Step number 1, decide that putting a plan in place is important. Make it a priority. So many times we say we're going to do something and life just catches up with us and we end up not actually sitting down and committing to it. This is something very important that could save the life of your pet. So just make sure that this is a priority to come up with a plan in the first place. Number 2, put it in writing. Don't just assume everyone will remember the plan if and when the time comes. Hopefully you won't ever have to use it, but it's best to just have it in writing so everyone can go and review it occasionally. Number 3, think of all the potential places you could evacuate to. If a hurricane was coming, where would you go? Is there family in another city or state within driving distance who would allow you to bring your pet? Or would you be going to a hotel? So it's good to already kind of know what you would do in that situation. Number 4, become familiar with the policies of your local animal boarding facilities. Is there staff that stays on duty in emergencies? Are they open during disasters? What are their rates? How long could your pet stay? And also it's worthwhile to find out if your local shelters or vets provide boarding in emergency situations. Number 5, what are the hotel pet policies in surrounding cities and states? You might want to check these policies every hurricane season in case they change. Is there a weight limit? Are there only a certain number and type of animals that can come to the hotel? There are some hotels where they'll only allow pets under a certain weight to be there. So it's good to already have an idea of, if you're going to drive to a neighboring state or a neighboring city, what the policies are with some of the hotels there. Number 6, this is important. Clear it with family, neighbors, and friends in advance if you're going to plan to let them be your designated caregiver for your pet in case you can't take the pet with you. Please don't just assume that that family member is willing to take on Fido or take on your cat just in case. Just don't assume that. Always make sure that you have that cleared with them in advance. Number 7, come up with actions for different scenarios. What would you do if the power's out for an extended amount of time? What if there's a tornado or earthquake, which are those type of disasters that just pop up and there really is not much warning for that? What would you do in those situations? If it is a tornado, do you have a designated room in your home? Do you have a basement? Do you have a laundry room? What room would you and your pets go into if a tornado was to come barreling down upon you? Do you know what you would do? Number 8, what if your pet gets lost? Are you making sure that tags are up to date? Do they have up-to-date information such as the pet's name, your phone number, and any special medical conditions? Also, it's important, if you don't already have it done and you can't afford it, it might be a great idea to have your pet microchipped. That way, if it gets lost, it's probably much easier to be reunited with your pet again. Number 9, have a list of local family, friends, or neighbors who would take your pets in the event of some type of pop-up disaster, as we just discussed, like a tornado or earthquake that might destroy your home or make it uninhabitable. This ties in with rule number 6. So basically, once you've established which family members will take which pets, make sure you have a list so you already know. This is really important in a multi-pet household because you may have a family member who is not willing to take your 80-pound dog in, but maybe they're willing to take in your 2 cats. So you want to have a list of which neighbor or which friend would take in which pet. So make sure you keep that on hand so you don't get it all mixed up and assume that one family member is going to take them all. And number 9, emergency funds. Set aside some emergency funds for your pet just in case they have to be taken care of by someone else for an extended period of time. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, even if you're just setting aside $5 a week in a jar, just whatever you can set aside. Hopefully you will never need it for that purpose, but just in case, you would have some extra money there just in case. And worst come to worst, if nothing ever happens, which that would actually be awesome, you would just have extra money set aside, you know, for your pet in case of just something else coming up. Bonus material. You also would want to make sure that you have a certain amount of extra food set aside, food, water, litter boxes, preferably disposable litter boxes if you have a cat, and also extra food and water dishes. Just like with us as people, when we have extra water and things set aside, flashlights, batteries, all that stuff, it's good to have extra things set aside for your pet, just in case if you guys have to get out on the road and drive to a hotel or just drive somewhere, or even if you're not driving somewhere and you're staying at home, it's good to have these extra supplies on hand. The ASPCA calls it an emergency kit, and they go into more detail about other things that you might want to include in your kit. And I will post a link to the ASPCA site on our Google Plus page and also on Facebook and Twitter. And the last bit of bonus material, this comes straight from the ASPCA. They recommend getting rescue alert stickers that are visible to rescue workers, letting them know pets are in the home. If you must evacuate with your pets, which preferably that would be ideal. If you had to evacuate, it's better if you can take your pet with you. If you do have to evacuate and you are able to take your pet with you, if you have time, make sure you put the word evacuated across the sticker, so that will let the rescue workers know that there is not an animal in the home. And actually the ASPCA has a really cool deal on their site where you can obtain a free pet alert sticker through the site. And like I said, I'll post a link so you guys can get to that. Just please allow 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. They also mentioned that some local pet stores may actually sell similar type stickers, but if you just want one free, you could order it through the ASPCA. That was it for this episode. I hope you guys got some useful information out of this. Be sure to join us 2 weeks from now on September 30th for an all-new Missy Show episode. And don't forget, October 7th begins our all-new season of October Pet Spooktacular shows. So be on the lookout for that, and those shows in October will be occurring weekly. This is your host, Jay. I'm going to sign off now. Until next time, I just want to thank you guys once again for joining me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thanks. Be blessed.